New Aphotic Realm announcement. Submission windows for upcoming issues. Issue 10, the theme is Justice. That's hard-boiled fiction with a supernatural twist. The deadline for that will be April 1st, 2020. Issue 11, the theme is Kaiju, giant monsters terrorizing civilization. Deadline will be October 1st, 2020 for those stories. Issue 12, the theme is Lycanthropy, which is, of course, self-explanatory. It can be any type of animorph with a bloody twist. So I guess that's werewolves and giant, I don't know. What do people turn into? Seals? I've just got a little seal on my desk, so I thought of that. I don't know. You'll have to be more imaginative than I just was. But the deadline for Lycanthropy, January 1st, 2021. Good luck to everyone submitting.
This thing, I hope you like it. Let's talk about it, yeah. Let's lose track. Losing the plot podcast. Losing the plot podcast. Losing the plot podcast. Talking to Leo X.
My guest this episode is Madeleine Swann. She's celebrating the release of her latest book, The Vine That Ate the Starlet. It's out now with Filthy Loot. We had a great chat as always, and I hope you enjoy it. As always, you can get in touch with me using losingtheplotpodcast-at-gmail-dot-com if you've got anything you want to let me know about, or if you want to be a guest, whatever it is. But that's all from me for the intro, so here is my chat with Madeleine Swann.
So you just caught me at an interesting moment. I just emailed, please stop, to a web design company. This web design company, they've been emailing me over the last longer, maybe a month and a half, something like that, insisting that they can do a good web job for me, like web, or it was other stuff as well, like something to do with my phone. And then they'd email me again saying, "Hi, we noticed you didn't respond." So and just insisting and not getting. I didn't reply to them once, and today I finally had enough and just emailed, "Please stop." Fingers crossed.
So they just randomly contacted you, or what? Was it something you asked?
They are. Never spoken to them before, but they're really they really want to do my web stuff. I don't know.
It's funny you should say that, because 5 minutes before we were supposed to talk, sounded like two men just screaming in the street, one of them quite violently, as if the other one was chasing him or had just attacked him or something, and then silence, and then you just look in the street and it's what where? And this happens that's not the first time that's happened. In fact, once when I was in Oslo, I had to call the police because I thought I could hear something downstairs, and then they just investigated and found nothing. So is it ghosts or something? Norwegian ghosts?
Wow.
I don't know. But anyway,
one time when I was staying at my mum and stepdad's, was it? No, it wasn't last Christmas. It was the Christmas before. My stepdad was just making, Christmas dinner, and suddenly we get a knock at the door, and it's all these police, and they've got all these dogs, and we could hear all these dogs barking, and we thought, what's going on? And these police just came into the house and said, we need to look in your garden. And suddenly there was a guy on a roof, a couple of doors down, going, "Leave me alone, I didn't do it. And so it was really bizarre and intense. And all these police dogs everywhere, and police, it was crazy.
And then did you ever find out what that was about? Because you never do you? Oh, you did?
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I did. Because I looked on their Twitter, the day after because I'm that nosy. And apparently it was just some guy that has been done for shoplifting so many times that he was going to end up being put away. So he was trying to hide in people's gardens, and then he'd climbed onto a rooftop. So that was a bit of excitement for the day.
Well, see, like, anytime I find, like, an interesting tweet, I'm like, oh, that's a cool story, like, let me look at that, and then it's like, top comment, Madeleine Swann, yeah, you go, that's great, fantastic.
I'm always on there.
She's just ahead of the game on, like, anything that's happening there. Anything cool that's happening there, not, like, bullshit.
Yeah, thank you, that's an important distinction. I am just nosy, though, really.
So, last time we spoke, I think, was like September 2018, I'm going to guess. Something like that.
Yeah, I think you could be right.
It'll be in the Zoom call thing. That's not. Oh, Zoom didn't even exist then.
Yeah.
August, end of August.
It feels like it's always been here now, Zoom.
So,
made films on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see Host, by the way?
I've heard of it, but I also made my own feature film that looks like a Zoom call as well. Everyone's got the idea.
No, I have seen that. Have I seen that? I don't even know.
You haven't seen mine? No, it's not available yet. But yeah, no, it's a very popular thing. I think it's cool. Especially if you're like a complete amateur cinematographer like me. It's like there are no images in the film. It's just people talking. So
yeah,
it's great. You don't need to design that at all.
Yeah, I want to see yours because I always, view inventive ways of doing films and stuff.
I'll send it to you. I've got like a watermarked copy that I can send to like press and stuff. We're going to send it to festivals and things.
Yeah, that's good.
See what happens, but I imagine it's pretty much like writing. They just go, yeah, we loved it. No, we hated it. Yeah, we love it. Tomorrow, next year, we didn't. We did. Oh, editors changed. Now we hate you. No, editor changed again. Now we love you again. You're great. And it's like, sorry, and all
business so fickle.
All this while you're supposed to be getting better and accumulating the skills, and you're just every time you start a new story, it's just like I don't know what I'm doing.
I think the host managed to be quite spooky actually. Like the stories, it's an hour long, so it's not.
It's an hour long, okay.
In depth, but
I need to check it out.
It managed to be quite spooky. It made me kind of jump, and go a few times. And I'm quite a cynical, hardened horror fan, really. But I do really like spooky things. I just, violence and whatever. It's like, but spooky, creepy things. I love it. Much prefer it.
So, 2 years have gone by. I'll give you a minute to summarise them. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Bird of audits and pandemic. There you go.
But your 2 years, not the world's.
Yeah.
The world's is a different business.
The Vine that ate the Starlet is out with Filthy Loot, like in a week or something.
Oh, great.
We haven't had like specific release date, but it's just like when the books are done and so on. So there's that. Other things happened. Some stories, I suppose, and I got married. I think.
Congratulations! No.
No, yeah. So that happening. Yeah, I think that's about it, really. Yeah. Oh my God, I nearly forgot the Chimpy Would Kill Me, the British Bizarro anthology. Chimpy being Liam Shardlow, everyone. I forget that people don't call him Chimpy. So yeah, that's like an anthology, and all of the proceeds go to Mermaids UK.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yes, like a trans and gender diverse young people's charity, and loads of new people who've got stories in the book. So that's good. That's the thing I'm really excited about. Is I don't know who a lot of these people are, and that's really cool.
So how did you find them?
We sent out like like the horatory and stuff.
Mhm.
So like open submission calls and that sort of thing, and got all these submissions, and they were all good, and it was so like, I know everyone says, oh, I hated having to choose between all, but I genuinely, like, it was a genuinely awful experience. Like, I really loved reading the stories, but knowing that you're cutting someone out and that is actually, it's not easy, but we've ended up with really, really good ones. Like, even being a writer, you get told, 1,000 different ways it was good, but it just didn't fit. Or, things along those lines, and you just have to kind of go, oh, okay, and that's part of it. So if it didn't fit, then it didn't.
Yeah, like you're going to hear that again, like.
Get used to it.
Yeah, pretty much. No, does it bother you getting rejected?
Like, I am quite, I'm a very sensitive soul. So, if you get rejected or something, you're going to sort of feel it in your, deep in your bones. There's no, I can't really sort of pretend that I don't, but I think it's good to be logical about these things. And even though it feels like, I've had rejections that really disappointed me a lot, but after a day or two of thinking about it, you just kind of go, oh, okay, you have to just be logical about it all, really. And it didn't get in, that's fine, but there's always other stuff you can, other places you can submit to, or you can change this, or there's this things.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're always getting better, so you can always like. I don't know. I mean, with short stories, there's a time when you just kind of go, "It's done. I'm not touching it anymore." But you can always write another story. And every time you start a new story, I don't know about you, but like, it's the most exciting thing I've ever worked on.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing I've noticed is, I remember years ago I wrote a book and it never got anywhere. And looking back, I completely understand why it didn't, because it was like my first attempt, and it wasn't actually that good, really. And at the time, it was like the idea of doing anything other than this book and trying to do, get anything submitted or sold that wasn't this book just seemed like mind-boggling. I was like, well, I've written this whole book, it has to be this thing. And then eventually, like, you start working on other things and you start getting better, and it's, you always kind of think about the next thing, or maybe that one, or I'll see what happens with this thing. And so you don't get so fixated at the start. You're very fixated, I think.
Yeah, that's true on the one idea, and I've seen that I think now I have this filmmaking club. I'm finally like around creatives in real life, which I've never really been before, and I see that notion of like, they've got this film in their head that's just never going to come out because it looks perfect in there. And like, well, I can't do anything with that. Like, do you want me to congratulate you on how amazing this thing is that doesn't exist? Like, and it's like, because self-esteem is getting in the way, because once it comes out, it won't look the way it does in the head. And so like, you have to face that disappointment. But when you see somebody else doing it, it's so easy to notice like how much that holds that person back. Rather than, it's always difficult to see in yourself. Yeah.
And it's like when at the beginning, like I've spoken to people who are still sort of at that point where they just have this one story. And I remember talking to a person who wanted to make films, but he would tell you the story like almost from start to finish, and how it was like really clear in this person's head. I don't know if they ever actually got around to making it. So, like, it's an interesting idea. Like at the beginning when you first start, you have this the idea of it, and then how it actually comes out. Like the first book that I tried to write, and it's like so different. It's like, why are you not doing the thing that's in here in my brain? Why are you doing this weird thing that's not as good?
Well, I don't know about you, but now, like, I've told I've told all the stories I thought I had to tell,
Yeah.
and they don't look. Not only don't they look like they did in my head, but I'm not terribly satisfied as like a person at all. Like I have more to say, different things to say, and yeah, I don't know that notion, like you say, of the one thing and how amazing it's going to be. It never turns out that way. But once you reach this point, now I just feel like I'm discovering what the story is all the time. And when I'm writing the first draft of something now, I'm just like kind of guessing what the story is. I think he goes there. No, he doesn't go there, because he actually, if he says that at the beginning, then he'll probably have to go there instead. Nah, he'll be dead at that point, so we got to, and you're just, I go over and over like that.
To make the story fit all the way through.
Very confusing. But at the same time, like if you have no expectations of what it's supposed to be when it comes out, then you just fully allow it to be its own thing.
Yes. A bit of both, I feel.
Yeah. But tell me about the vine that ate the starlet. I mean, I know that this is like a time period that's always been attractive to you, right?
Yeah. It's set in the 1920s in a New York that's been overrun by man-eating plants, and it's kind of a world of like glitz and glamour, and the main character is a gossip columnist, and she ends up being pulled into this mystery where a starlet that attended a party she was at was eaten by one of the man-eating plants, but there's something fishy about it, and she ends up being pulled into this world of dodgy PR agencies and secrets and so on that she never expected. And yeah, it has Bill, who I'm married to now.
So your husband?
Yes, my husband, yeah. Bill, the guy that I married.
That guy.
That one. He said it's got like all my interests in kind of like a, put together, like gossip and 1920s and glamour and weird B-movie plants. So yeah, hopefully people like it.
That's awesome. Have you always been kind of confident in writing about your own interests? Like, because for me, when I started submitting stuff, I was just like, well, what do they want me to write? And that doesn't go anywhere,
I think the first thing that I wrote, which was the book that didn't go anywhere, was about Victorians and sideshows and stuff like that, which was definitely an interest of mine. So I think for me, writing has been about going headfirst into my own interests. So maybe it's like a self-indulgent thing, but that's the thing that makes me want to sit there and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, are there any kind of writing influences here with this book?
Well, I guess I'm interested in the Algonquin Round Table in New York, which was Dorothy Parker and that, which I don't necessarily think it reads the same as her stuff, but she was, they were definitely a kind of influence, that kind of whole society of the 1920s type thing. But it's, I don't know, it's more weird, I guess.
Is this like a time, do you wish you lived in this time period?
I actually don't. Unless it was like a fantastical version in which everyone was equal and so on. But
Fair.
I like the fact that we have, that we're a bit further along in certain respects, and I like comfort, and I like mod cons and so on. So I kind of live in a sort of fantasy version of the 20s in my head, in which I can still, watch YouTube.
For me, I'm just like, are my teeth going to be okay? Where can I take a shower? Like, if I can't answer those two questions, like, I'm not going there. Like even like today, even in the real world, the present.
That's fair enough. No, I do like comfort, and it doesn't seem that comfortable.
That's fair. So is this like, this is your third or fourth published novella, right?
It's, I think it's the third. I think it's the third one. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like the format? Are you sticking with it for future works?
I think the next thing that I do, I've got my notes back from the editor for a middle grade book, and I think that's going to be, I don't know, it's supposed to be roughly 40,000. I'm not 100% on that yet. I can't remember. And then the next thing I do, I think I'm going to try and do like a novel. But I do enjoy doing novellas, and definitely want to do one again, because it's just fun. You can leak your brain out sort of pretty quickly, and I prefer reading quicker stuff now.
Yeah.
I much prefer it.
Honestly, I pick up books that are like over 400 pages and I'm just like, really? Like, you couldn't have said this.
That much of my time.
You couldn't have said this faster. How concise a writer can you really be?
Tweet or nothing.
Totally. Oh dear. I do have a draft of a novel that I need to get back to, but it's essentially just like 4 novellas stuck together, like 4 vaguely intersecting storylines. Yeah. So I think it must be a format that I kind of excel at as well. I love that. Just like, say your thing, give us the 3 acts, get out. I'm going to go shopping,
Yeah, it's like I just read How to Successfully Kidnap Strangers, I think that's what it's called, by Max Booth III.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically set over, I think, like 1 night or 2 nights or something, and it feels really like the story's really quick, and you get to know the characters really quick, and something happens straight away. I really enjoy that, and it was funny, so recommended.
Cool. What other good stuff have you read recently?
I think that and the last fictions I've read recently was that, and I've got A Spectral Hue by Craig Lawrence Gibney, I think, something like that. And I liked that. It had lots of things I like in it that drew me to it, which was, it's sort of inspired by the colour Out of Space, I think, kind of, where it's like a sort of mystical colour is affecting this one place, and then everyone in this one place who's affected by this colour are mostly, like, the author's a black guy, and everyone there, it's like from that kind of perspective with all the characters, and it's like a residence of artists, like a commune, not exactly a commune, but sort of like artists, weird colours, it had a lot of things in it that I enjoyed.
That's cool. What about films?
I watched Fantastic Planet recently. I don't know if you've seen that one. It's a 1973 animation.
Okay.
I think because I'm on the Bizarro Discord, I get a lot of recommendations that I wouldn't normally get for stuff, and I'd not heard of that before, which is weird because it's like something that my dad probably would have watched, but it's like this really weird sci-fi animation, but it's very French and dreamy, and it's got all these little creatures that sort of pop up that aren't anything to do with the plot, and then they do something weird, like an egg hatches, and then this little creature comes out, and another creature comes along and starts licking it, so you think, oh, that's nice, that's its parent, and then it just eats it. And it's got little things like that all the way through. It's very bizarre.
Cool. Okay, so Bizarro Discord, is this associated with your... No, it's not. I think I'm in it as well. It's just like Bizarro writers in general.
Yeah.
Mm.
We've got the British Bizarro Facebook Messenger thing, which is where we all sorted out the anthology, and the Bizarro Discord is just whoever, any writer from any part of the world can go in, I think.
Mm. But tell me about the British Bizarro community.
It's just like, well, you're there, Leo, so
I am.
It's just like a bunch of UK and Ireland, I suppose. I don't know if anyone Irish is in there.
Mm.
People who write weird stuff and want to get more of a thing going over here. And yeah, like I said, we worked on the anthology and we've done some readings. We plan to do some readings, but obviously pandemic.
Mm.
And we did a sort of performance type thing at Edgelit, the convention. So yeah, we just want to do more stuff together that will advance.
That's cool. I think all I really did was like say hi, and then I think later I guiltily was just like, oh, sorry, I haven't contributed, like still interested in what happened. And then at one point there was a Facebook call. I was like, oh, cool, they're calling. And then I realized, oh, this is for something they're planning that I've not followed at all. Because I was kind of tempted just to pick up anyway and be like, hi.
You should have, because, I mean, that's the thing, like, you can get as involved or not involved as you want. Because, like a couple of people have had to step back for a bit for various reasons, and then other people are, like, way involved. And so,
Okay.
A big deal.
A super formal thing. Okay, cool. Right, I'll make sure and try and get involved and stuff. But this anthology, is it out? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. The Bumper Book of British Bizarro. It is out now. Yeah.
So where do we get it? Usual channels?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. I think, is it just on Amazon? I think it might be, yeah. And the purchase link and that is all to Mermaids, just goes there.
Cool.
That's about it, really, yeah.
Cool, I'll make sure we link to it. Did have you got some reviews back for it yet? I think you were sending it out to blogs and things.
Yeah, I think, I'm terrible with names. I don't even remember the names of my own characters or books or anything really.
Me neither.
Ben, he does reviews on his channel. Ben's Not Writing, that's his channel.
Okay, that'll do. That's the handle.
Yeah. He's reviewed it and he liked it, and oh god, somebody else did Z Burns, of course. And I think a couple of other people.
Alright, cool.
But I'll stop trying to remember now.
That's fine. I read of course it was a Stephen King quote, like if you follow anything writing based, you just end up like with a ton of Stephen King news that you're not necessarily interested in. But it was a good quote. Something about like he remembers like everything, like all his characters and all the adventures that they've been on, like in all of his books.
Yeah, I definitely.
I was like, dude, I can barely name mine. What are you on about?
I know. It's kind of like, I don't necessarily feel like, oh, I've written that now. I don't ever think about it again. But I do become very hazy on specifics and names and,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I remember the important stuff.
Yeah.
But little things like names and such, maybe not.
There's another quote I like. It's like my paintings are the ashes of my art. So like the art for artists is the process of making the thing, and really by the time it's done, there's nothing more for us to learn from it.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
In which case, it's like the least interesting thing to me in the world. Like I'd rather see any other, like. You know what I mean when I say this, but like I'd rather see any other film than my own. I've watched it like 20 times.
Yeah.
I know everything about
sense.
it,
Yeah.
And the same goes for my books. I've read them so many times.
I think Aldous Huxley said about A Brave New World that he wasn't really happy with the the character that's born on the outside and not in the bit where
the Brave New World.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He speaks really Shakespearean, doesn't he? Like, because he's learned English by reading Shakespeare.
Okay.
And Aldous Huxley said in something that I read that he kind of wishes he hadn't done that because he doesn't actually think that it was very realistic. However, it's kind of like he's written it now and he doesn't want to be one of those writers that goes in and changes things and it's already out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, just leave it.
I think it's best even to keep little things like that to yourself because I guarantee that if readers probably weren't even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then
it didn't really occur to me. I didn't read that and think that's terribly unrealistic.
Yeah.
With all the other crazy stuff that's happening in that book, it doesn't sort of particularly leap out at me.
No, it's the same that when I was making this film, some people, when they're of course, when people are watching a film that they're in, they're just watching themselves. And they're just oh, my face was weird there. And nobody, there's 6 other people on the screen. I put this together. I don't even know what you're talking about. Chill out. It's fine. I
mean, that's something that you've got to get used to, isn't it? Because, if you're in films, that's going to it's not in your control, is it? It must be quite difficult when you first start acting. Because I did a bit of acting, but nothing a lot really, just sort of really low budget stuff. But when you start getting more and more work, it must be a hard thing to sort of let go of your shell. I don't know. It must be a difficult thing to let go of the control of how you are presented.
Yeah, exactly. When you get a reputation for that, you're really good at acting. But in order to be good at acting, you have to not really be thinking about it. You have to let the acting out. You don't.
Yes. Don't be thinking about how you're looking.
You don't do a good acting. You don't.
Yeah, that sounded like a Carl Pilkington. Thinking about how you're looking.
It's true though. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there was some interview I was watching where somebody was quoting Laurence Olivier. He did Richard III, and he was super depressed before it started. He was I'm going to be terrible, blah blah blah. Apparently, went on stage, knocks out of the park, pure possessed by the character everyone meets, gets back off, depressed again. Is how do I do that again?
Yeah, God. I don't think I could live on the nerves.
No. Who wants that to be your source of income?
No, definitely. I don't know how they do it really. From dealing with that when you're successful to sort of the other end of it where you aren't perhaps getting anywhere and the terror of needing your next acting job. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Not for me. No. But tell me, I'm sure you have some new internet obsessions.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot, don't we? What's my new obsession? Okay, so last time I think I talked about the people who formed groups around people that they didn't like. That's kind of moved on, right? Okay, so I think I'm sorry that I live next to an airport.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So last time I remember, I was telling you about how there's YouTubers that a bunch of people don't like, and they form entire communities, and their videos are literally all about this one person that they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they talk about with each other, it seems. Well, that particular community is kind of exploded now, and there is now a new community of people who don't like
the community,
original commenters who didn't like that one YouTuber. It's so interesting. It's fascinating. It's so this new community says that lot are bullies,
mm-hmm.
and are proceeding to bully this group that they said are bullies, and oh my god, it's a phenomenon.
Well, see, there's your novel structure.
Yes.
It just goes on.
It feels like an absurdist novel. It feels like it's by one of the Russian absurdists or something. It's like, if I was to write that, people would probably say that I was taking it too far.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But I need to do something inspired by it all, because I've been following it for so long.
For me, I watch a lot of like left-wing YouTube stuff where they complain about like stupid stuff that right-wing American pundits have said, even though that like does not concern me in the slightest, you know.
I watched that. Like, I watched the surfs and things.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like sometimes you say you're above it all, but sometimes you just want to watch someone laugh at someone say something really ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe it's that. Yeah.
Yeah. I accept that about myself now.
No, that's nice, because it's like, yeah, because like I say, like when I go into my day job, sometimes people like rush up to me and ask me questions, and I'm like, oh, why are you asking me that? And then I'm like, oh, I've done this for like 7 years. I'm technically like probably an expert or something. Yeah.
An expert, you're an expert, yeah.
And then it's like, shit, is that what it feels like to be? Like, I don't feel any different, you know?
You're someone that people look up to.
Oh, fuck. It's true. It's true. No, sometimes I see people like, because there are people younger than me in my filmmaking group.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say things and I see them like going, yeah, like almost like writing it down in their head. And then I'm like, no. I don't know anything. Like, don't quote me. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. I'm still young.
I don't think I can use that as an excuse anymore. I think I've reached the point where I guess you just go through layers of definitively understanding that nobody's grown up, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knows
once you reach a certain point, when you're younger, you still honestly think that you're going to reach this magical point where you feel like you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And but you never do. Like, I'm almost 40, or I'm 38, and I don't know what I'm doing. So no, you never get that.
No, my sister was here, and I think she's about the same age, and I think I should probably know that. And my friend was here, who's like about to turn 20, I think, and he was like, "Oh yeah, but like," he said something, and then he was like, "But I'm not a real adult yet." And my sister was like, "Neither am I. Like, nobody is."
Yeah, you never are.
No.
Yeah, you get there in age, but
I think like it gets easier because you're just like happier admitting it. Because I feel like, like you and I, like we read a lot of books, we've talked to a lot of people. Like, I feel like if I was supposed to know more about what was going on, I would.
Yeah.
And I don't. So.
And I think once you realise that everyone else feels like that as well, it's actually a huge relief. I mean, I still think that there are people who do know a lot more, like who are able to deal with stuff a lot better than me. There are some people who are genuinely, like, I look at them and I think, how are you behaving so much like an adult right now? How are you doing so well? But generally, I think, it's you never quite suddenly attain grown-upness.
Well, for the longest time, I just wanted to, like, I don't know. I think it's being young. You just want to be special and be seen as unique and everything. And so I really resisted the notion of not being alone as like a comfort, because I was just like, but I want to be alone. I want to be special and different, but I'm not. Not.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's cool. I love it though. Now I'm on this side, like I don't want to go back. Where did you get married?
Oh yeah, we just got married in Southend in the registry office, and our anniversary is Halloween.
Cool.
we got married last Halloween. Actually, it's our first anniversary this Halloween. So if we're still sort of stuck indoors, which I have no idea if we're all still going to be sort of under quarantine. But if we are, I kind of had a plan B in my brain of we'll just have like we'll just get loads of like Halloween sweets from Tesco's delivered and have like a tea party sort of thing. So have some cake and tea and watch horror films all day and night.
Nice.
So yeah,
sounds like something you should do anyway.
we actually are, but the idea was also to go out to eat. But we could just get a takeaway. I mean, it's an anniversary. I'll just dress up for the takeaway.
You've been together like a long time before you were married, or?
Yeah, we've been together for nearly 7 years. December it will be 7 years. So yes.
Was it like?
We know each other quite well.
Was it a Halloween themed wedding?
It was. We had it so completely tiny, because the idea of organising this whole huge thing just really didn't appeal to either of us. So we decided to have like, literally my mum and stepdad and Bill's mum and one of my friends, and she was supposed to have one of his friends, but he brought 3, but that's fine. Like, he's a very sociable bear. And like a couple of other family members, and went for a pizza. Like, we got married and then we went for a pizza. And that's what we did. And I was wearing like this all crazy stuff, and it was like we were just in a pizza restaurant, so I'm sure everyone was like, what on earth is going on? But I was dressed with like this one-eyed doll fascinator, and my stepdad was in a rainbow suit, and then we were just like eating in a really normal place, and it was really good fun. So, yeah.
That's nice though. I think when I got married, it was only 30 people, which is small for that kind of event as well, but there's not enough time to talk to 30 people in a day. You can't chat reasonably with them in an hour, so just running around the room really stressed. And I think everyone's, I don't know if it was me, but everyone seemed to be taking it personally that they weren't getting to talk to me more. And I just got a big accumulation of that.
Oh God.
You don't want that.
Stressful.
You don't want that happening.
Stressful. And I know that I don't really enjoy going to weddings. So I thought, well, why would I then put people through it if I don't enjoy it? So, just don't bother. It's so much easier. Just don't.
Awesome. So what's next for you? What are you doing? You've got notes back from an editor and a new thing?
Yeah, I've had my notes back. It's just about, I want to get a short story done, and then I'm going to work on this middle grade thing, and work through the edits of that. And Christoph Paul is also helping me with the outline of this new thing that I'm going to be working on then. And I think that's going to be like novel size, but we'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Cool. Are you going to bed now?
Yeah. I'm definitely going to bed. Yes.
Cool.
Are you?
Yes, I am. My friend is coming over. We're going to do a big breakfast, and I'm really excited about it.
That's fun.
That's nice. I might try and start watching a film before I go to bed. I watched Bug, the William Friedkin film. Have you seen it?
Yeah, with Michael Shannon.
Yeah, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I loved it.
Yeah.
So it was incredible.
Yeah, stuff because it was a play.
Yeah.
And I think Michael Shannon was in the play.
Yeah.
And then in the film.
The part was written for him, apparently.
Yeah.
And you can believe it because he does that creepy paranoid guy so well.
He's so intense. I love him so much.
He's very, very good. Yeah.
He'd be on the list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. No, but Ashley Judd as well gave an amazing performance by the end. I was like, no, that's amazing. And it didn't get such high ratings, I think, because it was marketed as standard horror, which it isn't.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's like a play. It's a really disturbing drama.
Yeah, you can definitely see where there was the first act and then the second act.
Mhm.
I think because they did it so much like how the play was, I imagine. Maybe people didn't like that, but I love to, I can't get to the theatre as much as I want to because obviously it's really expensive. But it's nice to be able to watch something that makes you feel like you've been to a play.
Yeah.
So, and that does. So, yeah.
I think I'm always going to prefer film because, like, you can, just because of stuff that you're not even supposed to do. Like, you can pause it, you can walk away, you can rewind it, you can put subtitles on, like, you can just.
I love films. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I do love films, but I suppose theatre is like, it's just another thing I enjoy.
Yeah, of course.
It feels special because I can't get there as much. Most people can't get there as much, so it's like a treat. And yeah, it's like watching the film of ghost stories. You can pause it, but when we went to go and see the play, it was like a whole different atmosphere because they had this thing where if you left to go to the toilet, you couldn't come back in. And I got really bad anxiety, so I was like thinking about that nearly all the way through it. So there is that, but also it kind of created an extra layer of something.
Tension or something, yeah.
Tension, yeah, creepy,
yeah.
Tension, yeah.
No, it's true. I mean, like each like storytelling form or something in its own right has its advantages, disadvantages, things that only it can do, and so on. And there's also like you say, there's lines that blur between them as well. Because I think sometimes the people I know who act some of them have like a theatre background, and then they're like, this is more theatre acting than film acting, and I can tell what they mean because sometimes they're like shouting, and I'm like, that was really distorted in this microphone. It's like right in front of your face,
Just really like
yeah. Yeah, but also I really enjoy like the kind of authenticity of just like people chatting that you can't get with a play because they need to like project to the back. Yeah. So it's just like, it's very funny when you're acting in something when somebody's theatre acting at you and you're like, I can hear you, I'm right here.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. It takes you right out of it. It's so funny. Like I say, I'd never been around like creative people in real life before. I'd always been around engineers, which is like my day job, and I was just like, God, these engineers are so annoying. Like, I wish I could hang out with creative people. And then my revelation was like, I just don't like people. It's people is the problem. It's not the type of person. It's just anyone, really.
There's always something like with every group that you go into. It's like, oh no, you're annoying as well.
Yeah, but then
it's just me. Maybe I'm the annoying one.
Maybe it is. In which case, I'll stay home anyway. The solution is I stay home. But
they'll be able to enjoy themselves.
Yeah, but then I think the reassuring thing about that, like another one of those difficult revelations about growing up, is it's like, well, there's not some like other exciting place that you're supposed to be right now.
Yeah, missing out on.
Yeah, you're doing great. No fear of missing out.
Yeah.
It's fine, man. It's all good.
Yeah. I don't really have that.
Most things I look at, I'm like, no.
That looks difficult. That looks really hot. That looks really, it's like.
Yeah. When can I brush my teeth? Where am I getting my next shower? Like, you can't go to the bathroom. I'm not going to that play. Like, I want to pee. Great talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great talking to you as well.
I think this will be up in a month or something because Aphotic Realm have a bunch of episodes queued, but I'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
And sweet dreams.
You too. Goodbye.
Bye for now. Bye.
Okay, so that was Madeleine Swann. Her book, The Vine That Ate the Starlet, is out now with Filthy Loot. If you are a reader, writer, editor, somehow involved in reading or writing or art in general, whatever it is, you can always get in touch with me using losingtheplotpodcast-at-gmail-dot-com if you want to be on the show or you want to tell me something, blah, 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 so on. But that's all from me. Thank you for listening. Until next time, bye-bye.